I'll come a-running home.
Here in central Kentucky lies the world's longest cave system, the appropriately named Mammoth Cave. Over 400 miles of interconnected, mapped, and explored caverns, with more still being found. Mammoth Cave is part of the U.S. National Park System, a World Heritage Site, and a World Biosphere Reserve. Mammoth Cave is more than a geological wonder. It has long been the focus of local commerce and community. Many local families, both black and white, can trace multiple generations of individuals in their family trees who have worked in the cave as guides or on the cave grounds. The family names in this diverse heritage include, among others, Wilson, Hanson, Furlong, Hunt, Cutliff, Nelson, Bransford, and Bishop. This documentary focuses on the African-American legacy of the park from the time of slavery to the present day.
I lost the light of one day. I saw high domes and bottomless pits, heard the voice of unseen waterfalls, paddled 3/4 of a mile in the deep Echo River.
Line. All right. Welcome to Beck's Club.
Lava Beds is unlike any place I've ever been. I don't know anywhere that has the layers that this park does. It's like being on another planet. The volcanic formations are really striking. They're really obvious when you drive into the park. You see cinder cones and spatter cones and lava flows.
Yeah, there's places where you can walk off trail and suddenly you get to this big pit and you're looking down 50 feet into the ground, and you would never have known it had you stopped 100 feet back from where you were. It's really cool how much stuff is hidden underground or even on the surface that you wouldn't see normally.
There are about 20 that have regular depositions of ice in them.
Just the nature of the entrance and the multi-level aspect of this cave allows cold air to sink in and get trapped.
I would never expect Crystal Ice Cave to be in a place like this. You know, you walk down into a trench and find a hole through the rocks, and then it opens up and you see huge ice formations and it's really cold. Who would ever think that existed below a hot, dry landscape?
But it was here in this field that modern-day explorers have spent the last 4 years digging. Until one day, in the summer of 2019, a truly amazing discovery was made. A cave, completely untouched by man. But what did these explorers find upon entering the cave? What never-before-seen sights did they behold? Now, we will meet the discoverers of the cave and go deep inside to get a glimpse of this surreal subterranean landscape.
So how would you describe the floor?
Non-existent. There is no floor, just clay.
Stephen and Julian are confident that they have just scratched the surface of the full extent of the cave.
There's more, and exceed our expectations again.
And they may very well be right. No one has ever said exploration was easy. It takes passion, dedication, and a whole lot of hard work. But the discovery of Marshall's Cave proves that there are still, in fact, undiscovered places just within our reach.
This is Ball's Cave. It's on the Jim Gage Karst Preserve owned by the National Speleological Society in Schoharie County, New York.
Reaching the bottom, we crawl through a narrow slot and soon find ourselves up to our neck in cold, dark water. We make a right and arrive in a large room known as the Square Room. This was the end of the cave for the 19th century explorers.
This is the lost passage.
But not for us.
Holy wow.
I squeeze into a narrow tube with just enough room to keep my nose above the water. As my neck, ears, and mouth submerge into the cold water, I feel my body release a shot of adrenaline. We head back to where we had first descended into the cave.
That was the dry side.
The sport of caving is practiced by only about 10,000 enthusiasts in the U.S. For many who visit and explore caves on a regular basis, it is their life's passion. The sport is often described by the media or the general public as spelunking, but cavers prefer to describe what they do simply as caving. Caving is far less commercial or publicized than other outdoor adventure sports, and it's less well understood by the general public. If you've never ventured underground or off the paved trail of a tourist cave, you'd almost certainly fail to see the appeal of crawling, climbing, and slithering through cold, wet, muddy, and totally dark environments. Very few people imagine that being fun. However, for those with a desire for adventure, a strong sense of curiosity about the natural world, and an interest in sharing unique experiences with other like-minded explorers, then caving can provide endless opportunities for new discoveries. Caves are one of the last unexplored frontiers on Earth, and those who practice the sport are interested in documenting these places and ensuring they are well protected for future generations to enjoy. Most people who are passionate about caves and participate in the sport of caving on a regular basis began by going on recreational trips. The sport of caving involves exploration in an environment that typically requires crawling and climbing in wet and muddy conditions that can be challenging and unfamiliar, but overcoming those challenges and learning the skills needed to travel through caves safely and efficiently can be extremely rewarding and fun. Caves can be like giant playgrounds, where both children and adults alike enjoy themselves. Involvement in the sport of caving over time naturally evolves into an appreciation for caves, a desire to protect them, and a curiosity about how they formed. It's common to later develop more specialized interests, and those who visit caves with a work objective are typically referred to as project cavers. Project or work trips can be for the purposes of resource management, survey and exploration, restoration or conservation of the cave environment, cave science and research, cave rescue training, or photography. Access to some caves with more sensitive resources, such as many of those in the national parks, may require an approved work objective. For many project cavers, the improvements they make to the cave, the data they gather, or the discoveries they make gives them a greater purpose and a strong sense of accomplishment.
But probably the most enigmatic of all historical remains are the mine tunnels carved into rock in isolated places. Forgotten, all but reclaimed by nature. Who were the men that came to take from this land what had lain buried for millennia? What did they hope to gain by such back-breaking work? Now, I will investigate one of these mysterious mines, nestled deep in a forest in Woodbury, Connecticut. A tunnel on the bank of a small stream. It certainly looks like it has been here forever. And someone put a lot of effort into driving it into the hard rock. Follow along as I attempt to unravel this little understood chapter of early American history. And uncover the secrets of the Woodbury Copper Mine.